British Nigerian international football star John Fashanu came on New Dawn in 2005. He came to face the women. It was a very fascinating interview, I think. He tried to charm the women. The women tried to understand him. Football star, TV star, prankster, John Fashanu, 2005 on New Dawn. Fashanu is here with us this morning. Good morning, John.
Good morning.
Oh, he calls it well.
Fashanu.
Wow. How much practice did you take you to get that right eventually?
About 20 years. 20 years, yeah.
All right, John. Shola insisted that she must sit beside you. I wonder why.
Because I'm 40. And I have to get to sit with the star. Excuse me. Please hold on. Look how good he looks. I have to match my looks with him so that you can know that, it's great to be 40.
Well, the first thing everybody says about you when you walked in was that, gosh, you look fantastic for your age. I mean, the way you've been famous for so long, I would imagine that you're probably 80 or something like that.
Wow. Right, that's the first insult, but go on, keep going.
But for an 80-year-old, you look great.
Thank you. Thank you for me.
How do you do it? Surgery? Food?
No surgery.
No surgery.
Food.
No food.
No food. Eat whatever I want to.
Whatever
Go out when
you
I want to. Yeah, just very lucky.
Do you drink?
Don't drink. Don't smoke.
Do you work out regularly?
Don't work out.
There's a
We
third
hate
one
you
he
already.
missed.
What's wrong with it?
Hello. He said, don't drink, don't smoke. There's a third one he missed.
Do you see how she picked that up? Do you see that? That's why she's sitting next to me, because she wants to pick up everything. And no, and I don't do the third one
You don't do
either.
that one again.
Not regularly.
Not regularly.
Okay, what's your take? Not regular. Are you sure she's on your side? No, John.
Totally and totally.
Before you came on, we were talking about that case in South Africa where a wife can sue a mistress about for breaking her marriage. What says you? See no evil, hear no evil.
Thank you.
Yes, I open.
What do I say? Well, you said something which I thought was quite relevant. That we have to look at the same standards with men as we do with women. The truth is, if there's a married man and the woman knows he's married, you have to ask yourself, number one, why is she going to him, or why is she accepting temptations? I think we all agree that the man is the weaker of the two.
Oh, when he suits them, then.
No.
So
No.
the men are not.
No.
Okay.
They're not.
Okay. I stand corrected. Okay. I'm not going to argue. I should stand corrected. But men tend to make more mistakes than women. And a man will make a mistake, and then he'll make another mistake, and he'll make another one. I noticed that in life.
So do you want to be that mistake? That's what you're saying.
No.
So the woman should ask herself if she wants to be that one of those mistakes. Is that what you're saying?
Well, sometimes, I think that you'll find husband and wife. I think that most wives accept the fact that sometimes husbands make mistakes.
Do husbands accept the fact that sometimes wife might stray?
No.
Wow.
Let him answer.
No, she did. She answered.
They never do.
It's also unfortunate. They never
They never
do.
do. Honestly, it's a very chauvinistic way to think.
It is.
And it's very bad. We can't say anything about it. You see, you're waiting to get into me, aren't you? I can see she's waiting. How can I get Fash? But that's the makeup. That's how it is. King Henry VIII had 7 wives. He didn't have them all at the same time, but he had 7 wives.
Okay.
As yet, I've not met a woman who's had many husbands.
Well, mostly because she's not allowed to. But we can leave. That's a whole big topic that we can take on some other time. But Shala had a very interesting take on that topic.
Okay. Since you want me to say it on national TV,
Go on.
I will.
As if you wouldn't. Go on.
I will. I was listening to you when I came in, and you had the point of how it is that women shouldn't go after another woman because of their marriage, that kind of thing. I mean, if you have a problem, face your problem. Don't go looking for the symptom of the problem. Deal with the cause. And I thought that, okay, well, that's a point which is relevant. I mean, I don't think any sane woman should do that. But then, if we are this much of the sisterhood that would like to preach, I wonder why another woman would look at somebody else's husband and still go for him. Why don't you think that, my sister will be bothered about this, or it would affect my sister, and because of that person, not because the guy is worth it, Not because he deserves it, not because you don't want him, not because you can't get anything you want from him, but just for the sake of somebody else. And it's like Ijoma was pointing out, it should also apply to the men. I agree with you, it is a human thing. If we are real good human beings, we should not go after other people's property. It's covetousness.
Okay, we've got to go to John, because it's absolutely great to have him here. And at what point, John, what would you say you are now? It's always very hard to, put you in sort of like a box. Your life is so multifaceted.
Yeah, I think you're right. I think firstly and foremostly, I'm proud to be a Nigerian. Okay. I think as you get older, you're not sure whether you're English Nigerian, English. You go through these different stages. You find that sometimes if your pronunciation of different Nigerian words don't come out right, you think you might be embarrassed, or you think somebody might embarrass you. But you get over that, and you are what you are.
Well, goodness, I mean, I was saying to myself that if there's one wish I had now, is to be 19, a little silly, a little vacuous, so I can marry me a footballer.
Very right. Very right. Yeah.
Gosh, the amount of money
is crazy
in football.
Yeah.
Did you think it would get to this?
Well, the money that we were getting in football, even then, was enormous money. It was all relative. If we were earning round about, I remember my days of football where I was getting about £25,000-30,000 a week. That's, I don't know, what's that in Naira?
Don't!
That was many years ago.
That was about 7 years ago. So that was relative. So now the Dave Beckhams and all our boys, Michael Obi's, those boys are earning the £52,000 a week. So it's all relative. So cost of living has gone up. So it's all relative. But football has always been an enormous money-spinning business. It's the largest organisation.
Is that why the boys have the kind of challenges they have? I mean, look at Michael Obi already now and all that talk about so-called indiscipline and all that. By the way, I love Marino.
Literally, or
me and you both.
I mean,
is that something I should pass back?
Let's say that discussion earlier.
Okay.
We'll give you a problem with Marino. Yeah. So I'm saying now that does it therefore attract a kind of life?
Yes.
That how does one cope as a footballer, making all that money, attracting all that attention, and being so young or claiming to be young?
The truth. I pretend I didn't hear that last one.
Yeah.
The truth?
Yeah.
It's very difficult. But the truth is, the age of, take my late brother Justin, at 17 he was a £1 million footballer. Yeah. He went from being the normal boy on the street to a multi-millionaire. To understand that there's nothing that you can't buy is quite frightening. To understand that every woman who's after him will chase him. To understand that the things that other people can't do, he could do, because he could write checks out. And Michael Obi, not so much Nwanko, Kanu, and JJ, because they're experienced boys, you can understand the problems he's going through. All of a sudden, he's now in a big city of London. He can do whatever he wants to. He's bought 6 cars, I understand, and he's gone everywhere. So who is the one who keeps the reins on these young men?
Who did it for you and your brother?
I think seeing the tragic way that my brother went up and came down, I think that was a lesson to myself to understand life. So me, I've always been a little bit slower, a little bit more careful. Not a lot, but a little bit more careful.
Going away from that a bit, there have been some scandals that have been gone with your game, what with the match fixing thing and the injury to one of your opponents.
Yeah, my leg. Yeah.
Did you feel that you got a bad rap from the media?
With the media, I always say, you pick up the paper, you see your face on the front page, and it says great, wonderful things. Do you believe it all? You pick up the paper, you see horrible stuff. Do you believe it all? You can't have it one side and not the other side. You can't say, oh, he's great, what a great guy, and say, well, show everybody. And then when it becomes negative, if you have chosen the life of being a media personality, you've got to take the rough with the smooth. The truth is, you get to a certain age where any publicity is good publicity. You just take it that way anyway, because it can't damage you. And after all, I think we all know the English media, the American media, the Nigerian media are all different.
The British media is vicious.
I don't know. Oh my God.
The British media is vicious. Why? I mean, they build their own and they tear
them alive.
No, they do not tear. They tear.
Segment by segment.
Segment by segment.
And what they do is they build you up, put you on the pedestal, And I watched it, and then they rip you apart. And the difference is, if you're going to take an English newspaper to court, you've got to have £1 million in your account, 150 million naira before you start. And I did that once, and I spent 140 million naira on court cases. And at the end of the day, they say, sorry. Wow. Sorry. You learn as you get older, let it go. Let it pass it. Let it just walk away. That's the career path you have chosen. So don't poo-poo it.
Right.
But let me take us back a bit. Do you or any of the former players in your generation have outfits where maybe you're trying to mentor the younger players, manage them or something, so that we curb some of these excesses in behavior, or just some kind of it's probably just outreach.
It's key.
Do you have anything?
Yes,
Are you
we
doing
do.
anything?
We do. For the last 3 years, I've had one in London, but the truth is it hasn't worked. And you know why it hasn't worked?
Why?
Because you can talk to the youths as much as you want to. The minute they hit money, 1 million, they'll listen a little bit to you. 2 million, buy out. Look at it. He doesn't know what he's talking about. Huh? Why should I stay in when I can go out with all these babes and I can take my Bentley out and shut up? And you look back and you say, well, that was me. I was like, why is this my dad trying to tell me to stay in? Stay in? I got 5 women waiting for me. What?
Right. Shola.
I'm old.
Yeah, you're
Let me ask a question about the NFL business. You know, did you regret going into that? Because it seems like
that interview.
Yeah.
I have to.
Just so everybody knows, I refused to do an interview. I refused to do an interview. And she's now going to
I'm now going to get
it
for it. Yeah. So did you regret going into all that? Because I'm not sure anything good came out of it.
the NFL, huh?
The whole NFL deal.
Oh, that's killed me, hasn't it? What do I say? She's already told me nothing good came out of it.
No, I mean you can.
I can defend myself?
Correct me.
Okay. I wanted to get onto the NFL now because I thought that we could steer football around. Biggest organisation in the world is football, billion members. The real ambassadors of Nigeria are the footballers. They're the people who are going to change the development of this country. The perception, thank you, of this country. It was very difficult. You have a 21-man board. 21 members can never even agree on the time. So it was never going to work. So, and the unfortunate thing is you have a lot of politically appointed people on the boards in general. They have no inkling or idea of football whatsoever. I live the game, I sleep the game, I die the game, and that's all I know is administrating the game.
Yeah, for football in it. I mean, if you had a wand,
Yes.
what would you like to do?
I would like to change the administration of the game of football. I would cut the board down from 21 members to 7 members. I would put people on the board who understand the game of administrating the game of football, who are internationally connected as well, because the world is a global village now. When somebody calls you and it's Blatter, the president of FIFA, he's got to know your name.
Yeah.
Otherwise you won't get the things which you should get.
Yeah.
And that way, put in the people who understand, the people who were the mathematicians of the game, Shegun and all these other people who should have had the opportunity long time ago, but because of lack of funds didn't have the opportunity or lack of political strength. And the truth was, everybody used to say I was JJC. I was, because I just came straight in from London, used my position, muscled my way in, but once you get in, it is very hard to do anything.
Move.
You can't move.
Okay, can I ask a question?
Yeah.
Is it ever going to be possible for us to run football outside of government influence? Can it exist without government participation? Because I don't know if the government of England, for instance, is that involved.
Well, we always say, if you're going to run something autonomously, then you've got to fund it the right way. Why should the NFA be going to Mr. President with a begging cap asking for money if they want to run it autonomously? Until we have the real private sector who grab football and understand football. Otherwise, where are our stars? Our stars, we see them in the Premiership. We don't see any of our local boys. I don't know one player who plays for any team, and I served on the board for 4 years. South Africa, you can see the domestic football every single night, and you can love it. Here, We don't even have any of our football on television because we can't work it out.
Right.
It's crazy.
What's your life like now? What you do? I mean, generally. I know. I used to love to watch your gladiators. What's that thing you used to say? Awuga.
Haruka.
Awuga.
Yeah.
What does awuga mean?
I didn't even know what it meant. It was an expression. Haruka. And I think it came when I was doing some martial arts or doing something. Oh, that sounds good. I thought, oh, let me use that again. And it just came out like that. But what do? You know the lovely thing?
Yeah.
I do what I want to do. It's
You
nice
have
to
the freedom to
I have
do
the
that.
freedom to do what I want to do. So, you know, it's nice to be able to... So she's... We're going to fight. You know, the nice thing is, footballers, we retire really, we take our pension at 32, 33.
Yeah.
So really, you're right, I am a pensioner. Because I'm 32, 33, so we're pensioners. You see? So I can take my what comes to me. But it's nice to be in a position where you can change people's lives. You can change other people's lives, you can help other people, you can empower other people. I came from a very poor family, as you know, and a broken family. So my role is, you know, the insecurities I have, I always see in most of the people around me have been people that I've either picked up off the street or I've empowered to give them money because I know how frightening it is when you come from a broken home. And you've always got that belief that you're going to be back there again. So that insecurity always keeps you, you know, you make your first million, you keep going, so why are you working every day? Well, I was poor before.
I'm not going back there.
You've got 14 million, I don't care. That's not enough. And if you speak to Dr. Mike, you speak to elite coach, you speak to whoever it might be, even though you get there, you always think, I'm going to slip back down there again.
So you keep going.
You keep going and you keep going. Not that you're greedy, but it's not that you want power. It's that when you have money, you can empower people. You can change other people's lives.
Yeah.
And that's a lovely gift if you can be in that situation and you can can change people like
You
that.
said something, and I don't want to cause you pain, but I think to be able to bring it up now, you know, you said about coming from a poor family and a broken home. I don't know what the state is now with your marriage. You know, what happened?
You know, I've always learned and I've always remembered your private life always remains your private life. That's the wonderful thing about private life.
Yeah.
So it's private.
I would not, because I also know what it's like to get the good and the bad of the media. I can let it go. But you know, also as an interviewer, I needed to ask, because it's good to know what the truth is from the person concerned, as against reading all kinds of story. You know, and you might not remember me well, but I interviewed first in 1995, and then again in London, and then I always thought that your family was gorgeous. You know, and that, you know how it is, you are a celebrity, you run around, you never see the little people. You know, so, you know, and that your family was gorgeous. I know when I read the news reports, my heart, you know how it is, sometimes you feel connected to other people. That's why I needed to ask you.
You know what they always say? There's always three sides to every story. There's your side, there's my side, and there's the truth. No one ever gets to the truth. So we don't even try.
Right. All right, ladies, are you going to let him go? You want him to show his six-pack?
Yes.
Nice.
No argument from me there. I'm not in that one. I am.
You see?
I'm not.
I knew you would be. Yeah, I knew you would.
I'm on your side.
I mean, we're seeing this lean body.
You know,
nicely crafted outfit. It'd be nice. No pressure.
Exactly, no pressure.
But
No,
All right, let me tell. I will take you. You can feel.
You can feel. You can feel. Okay.
You can feel.
better than she.
Exactly.
And
Should I stop?
Wow! I can't
Really nice.
It's over.
I can vouch there's a six-pack.
Okay.
Look at the one who's not.
I just wanted to. I'm acting as the umpire here. Yes. I can show you the six-pack. I'll check.
Okay.
And finally, before I must mention that Africa is hosting the World Cup in 2010. What does Nigeria need to do to be a part of that party? And I say party, you know what I mean, you know, all aspects of it, the business, the tourism, everything. Because we're so far away from South Africa.
So far away. You know, the truth is, some of our footballers are the best footballers in the world.
Yeah.
But the administration has gone that way. Our football physically has gone that way. So we've got a great big gap there. And I think what Mr. President is now realising and understanding, like many of us, that football is tourism. Football and tourism go together, hand in hand, and you've got to couple them together. If we qualify for the World Cup, and we'll know that really, I think for 2008 we got the Cup of Nations in Ghana, and we do well, we'll see how we're building, then we've got a massive chance. Because of course South Africa is our African partners, whether we like it or not.
Yeah.
But what FIFA is saying is most of the friendly games of all the world teams now have to be done in Africa.
Yeah. Right. I don't think there's anything more to say. Right, people? Okay. Thank you, Mr. John Fashanu, for coming this morning.
Fashanu.
All right. Fashanu.